Welcome back to the ways of the Wandering Wizard. This is Bob the Wizard from the Wizard's Chair. So today what I'd like to share with you is the opening of a book, an opening of a video channel, the opening of the sharing, I suppose. So with little ado, and in my best reading voice, are you sitting comfortably, children? Then we shall begin. On the 13th of September, at about 8:20 in the morning, life and how I understood it changed. I was riding to work, I was on my bike. It's a glorious morning. It really was a glorious morning. Feet up, beard in the breeze, absolutely enjoying my ride to work. And then, without any warning, I was quite literally hit hard, impaled on the front of a car, turned through 90 degrees, and then flew through the air. A little while later, and I will share this in depth later on in this unfolding, I found myself lying on the road, very broken, fighting to stay alive. Despite the care, the support of eyewitnesses, some police officers who turned up, and eventually a fire crew who were the first medics to start working on me, about 3/4 of an hour, 45 minutes after I was hit, I found myself, from being in the most pain that I have ever experienced, to being utterly pain-free, at peace. I have never felt so loved, so totally accepted for who I am, ever. So I suppose what I found myself, because there was very much myself present, as, what would you call it, consciousness, a soul. Whatever it was, I had a meeting, and that will too come later. And I was, during the course of that meeting and really being a chance to examine life, was given a choice. Do you want to come back, or re-experiencing it, or keep experiencing this, or do you want to move on? I have children. I was young children at the time. Wife, mothers, people who loved me. So it was pretty clear that the choice, no matter what pain it cost me, I'd get back. Experiences like these are life-changing. You cannot experience yourself or go through something like that and then wake up the next morning and life is the same. It absolutely changes your perspective on who you are when you can see not only yourself at a distance, but yourself through space, time, and life. That's pretty much what I woke up to in 45 minutes of pain, and out I went. As much as I'd love to share all the exciting stuff that went on while I was out there, that really is something for a little bit later. One, it's going to keep you guys watching, isn't it? You thought I was going to spill the beans on the first chapter, so you could just watch this and go, oh, that's an easy way. No. And for those of you who are watching this who think the way of a wizard may well be life hacks, shortcut, no. Life's hard. And the only way that we get through life is together. And that's pretty much the greatest lesson of my story, is realizing that you cannot do it on your own, and when you ask for help, that help's there, and you just move forward. My accident gave me an opportunity, a lot of time, to really look at my life, to really look at myself, to really understand what it is to be human. that has helped me grow in ways that I couldn't have imagined. And what's emerged from that is someone for the first time in a long time I can truly say I'm comfortable with. I love being me. That's probably clear. But that is a good place to be in. Over the course of my recovery, I've talked to a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of people on WhatsApp groups, friends, colleagues, healthcare professionals, and occasionally complete random strangers, if I'm honest. In that process of talking through some of the stuff that I've experienced, it has been, write a book, get it out there. So this channel is, as I've mentioned before, my chance to get some of that journey out there. Writing the book, and this process I started 9 years ago in hospital, writing snippets, revisiting that has shown me what I've been through, where my head has been in places, and that too has been an illuminating journey. Clearly, when you go through something like that, some of these spaces that we're in are dark spaces. That's something we had to go through, something I had to go through. And strangely, as I sit here now, I'm glad to have gone through it. What's emerged is better than I'd hoped for. A bad place to be, eh? So, this is my opportunity to share what happened to me, some of my process, before I pop off again. Relax. Not in the near future. When I was laying on the road, probably the thing that was bothering me the most was that I had left a lot of things unsaid, or a lot of stuff said to the wrong person, the wrong times. And I had a real fear that I was going to pass from the world and not be able to get that stuff out there. That fear has really coloured a lot of my life since, in that I am very vocal. I talk a lot, I share deeply of myself. And that's probably the reason why I do it. It's probably the reason why I'm doing this, if I'm honest. Just getting what I went through out there so that it doesn't get lost. Believe me, if it comes across as a giant ego trip, my apologies. It's not intended as that. I am not alone in having a near-death. Believe me, go through the experience. The very first thing I did when I got a phone was Google near-death experiences, because I thought I ought to be out there sharing this. A great awakening, my role in the world. There are hundreds of thousands of books on this subject. This is not a unique, each experience is unique, clearly, but mine is just one of many. All of them change us, and most people in some way share their stuff. Now I'm aware that as I talk to you and as things go on, and clearly when I'm face to face, some of my stuff can appear a little disjointed, a bit of a free flow of consciousness. It's really how my mind's worked since the accident. It's a hard thing to explain to another how your own mind works, but this is how my mind has worked since the accident. It runs very quickly at times, almost at that PTSD stress level, which is epic when it works, but it can overload me at times. This is not one of those moments. Anyway, so I'd like to say that I'm like a load of people that share their stuff out there. This is not all about me. There I go, sliding off when I said it was all about me. Videography is clearly not my strong point. As I share this stuff, it's hard. It's not necessarily a chronological day by day thing. I'll try and share it in chunks because obviously it makes a bit more sense. But I'm very aware that I can skip around. So if I do, rewatch it. Hey, maybe Billy Connolly wasn't alone. It's just the way my head works. So as I'm putting it out there, could you bear with me? That would be great. If there's anything that I share, as I've mentioned before, and you disagree with it, or it gets you fired up, or you want to throw your phone, computer, or it's just not like that. Really, this is just how I see things, how I've perceived it, how it's been for me. It's shared openly, so that if it makes sense to you, or if part of it resonates with you, then great, grab it. If you really don't resonate with any of it, look at what it is that's making you go, what is he fucking talking about, the idiot? And that will give you a greater understanding of what your truth is and how you see the world than anything else. Strangely, through that conflict, that polarity of argument, this can sometimes help us, if we choose, to gain a greater understanding of ourselves. The fact that we're all going to see the world a little bit different is not unusual. We're all unique. 7 billion souls or thereabouts currently incarnated. And each and every one of us experiences the world through the lens of our experience, not only from my perspective in this life, but over lifetimes. The fact that we all see the world in a unique way is why we're in the world. Imagine a world where we look at things, understand that 6 and 9 are the same thing looked at in different ways. Imagine how that looks through 7 billion eyes and experiences and senses. That's why we're all here at this moment, to give a broad experience of whatever it is that we're all going through. So bits that I share from the story, I hope will possibly even bounce with some of you guys as you go through whatever this grand awakening is. Because really a lot of what we're going to be going through, I feel, for the next while, is deaths of old egos, changes in who we are and how we see ourselves. It's going to be exciting. The future of 22 is so bright, we're going to have to wear shades, and I've just overrun my 11 minutes. Peace, love, light and llamas.